Welcome back. Another edition of Bet Like Mike, WinDailySports.com. And just got to say, I got to brag about these every once in a while, Mr. Mike North. I had a pretty good day yesterday. I don't know if you recognize that. I think you did.
I did.
But I had a good day.
You want me to say it? Because you know what? The first thing you do, me, I. You know, I had a coach that once told me, there's no I in team. But I said, yeah, but there's an M and an E, coach.
There we go. Yeah. Well, no. Okay. So why I bring that up is because you just have to brag about those days. If you go undefeated or you have a really big day where you bring in a big haul, it doesn't happen all the time. Enjoy it. Have fun with it.
Well, what you had yesterday was the Cardinals. That was the genius play. Plus 185 against the White Sox. Then you had Utah. They win. They cover the 9.5. And then you had the Knicks who were basically getting their butts kicked.
I thought that was going to be my loser. About halfway through that game, I went, okay, this is bad. Trae Young's hitting shots again. Julius Randle can't hit shots again. I thought that was over. But luckily, Derrick Rose ended up saving me. Derrick freaking Rose. What a game. He had a really good game.
I want you to remember, when you have your 1-3s or 1-2s or 1-3s, to have the same zeal that you had coming on today. Because I had a 2-2 night, but it was
That's good.
Same ball games. I had to run lines 1.5 on Milwaukee. Okay. And I wanted them to cover, but nobody won on the money line. So I went 2-2, but my strong lean was the Chicago Cubs. And the Cubs got the job done. And they're a pleasant surprise right now. They really are. So we had a good night. Sometimes I can't see all the game because, I'm raising a puppy. Now, I never raised anything in my life.
Oh.
Me and my wife didn't have kids. I was a kid. I was like my puppy Lotto because I tell you what, it's a 16-hour day job. Now, I had 2 other dogs, Licorice, and I had another dog that just passed in December, Lucky. Did you have dogs? Do you have dogs?
Not a dog right now. Since I live alone. But no, when I lived at home with my parents, we had dogs all the time. And we had puppies. We got 2 puppies. They were actual twins. So they were they're born in a litter, but they were actual twins within the litter. So we got those. And yes, puppies they're hard. They're tough.
Hard, but they're fun and everything else. They take you to the dog park. I mean, I used to go from bar to bar. Now I'm looking for dog parks. You know what I'm saying? So, dogs are a lot of fun. Now, what I don't like is what I've been hearing since the pandemic started is a lot of people had dogs during the pandemic. But now that it's clearing up, they're taking the dogs back. Once a dog comes in my house, he's got it made. That's why our dog's latest name is Lotto. Now, I never raised kids or anything else. I have all respect in the world for people that raise kids or people that raise dogs. I mean, basically, I have a 5-6 month old dog who's got the mind of a 3-year-old child, yet he knows when to sit. He knows when to do this. He knows when to do that.
Curious about a lot of things and getting into a lot of things.
Oh my God. He walked out the other day with my reality. He said, that's it? That's all you got? Where's your credit card? But no.
I'm pretty sure a 3-year-old said that to me soon, or a few weeks ago. My 3-year-old niece said the same thing.
You live alone, or you could never have a dog because you couldn't take care of a dog. Would you have a dog if you didn't live alone?
I probably will. I do want to end up getting a dog again at some point. But yes, it has to be obviously right circumstance and all that to do it.
Yeah. A bachelor in Philadelphia, big time radio guy.
It would be nice to have a dog around, but I think if anything, I would get a cat. But I like cats, but I also have a cat allergy, so it's a little double-edged sword there.
Bachelor in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Big time radio guy.
I don't know, big time. I'm a radio guy. I'm just a radio guy.
Gotta throw that around. Hey, maybe you haven't heard me, girl. Maybe you should listen how to cover some point spreads because I'm Johnny J. So, hey, you know what? All I'm telling you is raising a puppy, folks. If you're going to get a puppy, you better raise them and you better raise them right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying
and better take the time to raise them because
that's right. Yeah. Me and my wife, we got, and they sleep too. You take them to the dog park, they get knocked out. That's a beautiful thing. Now, let's talk about Russell Westbrook, okay? Now, I put out on Twitter today, nobody got the joke, but they have popcorn guns, okay? For kids and for people, you want to shoot popcorn, you want to throw. I understand the disrespect. Popcorn on him through there, but it wasn't like they dropped ball bearings, and it's all about the reaction. Somebody said that Philadelphia should have heightened security. They had 6 guys around him, okay? They had to stop him from being disrespected, no doubt, because if somebody threw popcorn on me,
oh, yeah,
I would like it. But it was getting more play than somebody spitting, supposedly, allegedly, on Trae Young. And if you've ever been spit on, folks, and if you haven't, you never pissed anybody off, or you never had an altercation, or you never, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst. And the popcorn thing was all about reaction. I want to ask you, if he looks up, the popcorn hits him, John, and he walks in, there's not this type of reaction, because the spitting was sort of like a no reaction, was it not?
Well, yeah, I don't think people knew it happened, because it just nobody reacted to it. There was no reaction. Yeah, no reaction at all. But I also don't blame the reaction. I mean, if somebody throws food on you like that, especially after you're walking off injured, I'd be pretty upset.
You could snap. I could see where you could snap, but this brings me back in the day, Steve Bartman. Now everybody knows who Steve Bartman is.
I've heard of that story.
Yeah, you've heard about it. I tried to get him for so long. I had people staked out at his place of work. I had my producer, Jen Patterson, go right up to him and say, would you tell Mike I love him, but we're not doing anything. Tell him to call my lawyer. I mean, this guy stuck to his guns. There's no doubt about it. And I have ultimate respect for the guy. That doesn't mean I still wouldn't like to get an interview with Steve Bartman, because if anybody gets an interview with Steve Bartman, that's still a killer interview to this day. Okay? That would be a killer interview. But here's what happened. Moises Alou, who already had flight plans, not that he couldn't cancel, the next night, the next day, goes to get the ball into the stands, doesn't get it. And what does he do? He stomps his feet, yells at the kid, and then the next thing you know, the kid's got a bounty on his head. If he just goes and runs back,
nobody makes a big deal out of it. Yeah, maybe a few boos, maybe a few boos. People will know, like, hey, you tried to catch a ball, and but it wouldn't have been. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
If you've seen it, and it was an iffy catch, and Moises Alou was good, but he was known for his bat more, as much for his bat than for his glove. Yeah. And that was still going to be a great catch, reaching over the railing. And I never saw a kid, Steve Bartman, who could have gotten anything he wanted. Vacations were offered to him, all sorts of stuff. People invited him to their hotels, everything. And he shook all of it off. I mean, the guy's got integrity to match anybody I've ever met. I'm not selling out. I'm a Cub fan. My buddy knew him because his kid was on the Little League team that Bartman coached. So he goes up to Bartman. I tried everything. And so did everybody else in Chicago. He coached the Little League out in Norfolk. He knows. So it's the reaction. If Russell Westbrook doesn't really go nuts, I think it's a lighter story. If Trae Young realizes what happened, and they were even passing out pamphlets.
That was weird. I know Knicks fans. It's been a while since they've been in the playoffs. It's been a while since they've been here, and been relevant. But come on, man, that was really weak. That was horrible. You don't have to.
Horrible. And get your own minds. You're a bunch of sheep out there in New York. And by the way, wear your old school uniforms. The city that never sleeps. Me and my buddies were out there not too long ago. Okay, and we were looking for a bar on Park Avenue at 12:15, and they were closed. The hotel bar. So give me this crap about the city that never sleeps, okay? And then you wear them like it's an AAU game. I mean, I just think
it would have been nice if it was in their classic, usual uniform. It would have been nice, because that game is the first win of a playoff game in the Garden in a while. And when you look back at it, it's not going to be in their usual great uniforms. It's going to be in those terrible alternate ones.
That's for game 52.
Yeah.
61.
Right. No, or that's for like a Sunday game during the day. Like that's what you wear. I mean, the Sixers are wearing their alt uniforms. Why are NBA teams wearing their alt uniforms right now?
Listen, I don't. If I'm commissioner, we're going back to white on the road and what.
But the thing is, a lot of those looks are the best looks that each team has. Usually, their classic uniforms and the usual ones are great.
I don't understand.
And the Knicks have a great uniform. They really do.
What they had last night was cheap. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, good game. Good stuff.
It was. Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. Randall comes through near in the second half. I give him credit. Had a big load, and we'll see if Derrick Rose can repeat what he did.
It's awesome to see him playing well, though, in the playoffs, the first 2 games, because he's not really that old. It's just the injuries that we kind of count him out with. But this guy still is. Now he's a veteran player. He's gotten more of an understanding of the game. And does he have his usual athleticism? No, but he's still a good athlete and he's still a good player. And it's good to see.
There's no doubt about it. He went through a lot of injuries. I thought for a year and a half he sat out and he would shoot before the game. I didn't have a whole lot of love for him then, but good for him. Now, let's talk about some other things. By the way, folks, we'll have our picks for you in about 5 minutes. Johnny J 3-0, Mike North 2-2 last night. I had the lane if you took the Cubs. Good for you. If you didn't, bad for you. Let's talk about the genius of DeChambeau and Brady and Koepka and what Koepka started that he's not going to cash in on. And maybe Koepka was asked before Mickelson, but I'm going to tell you, DeChambeau, I don't know if they have an understanding or what, but he has a picture of Brady on Twitter with a deflated football. Going, me and Aaron are going to deflate you like the football you had. I mean, they're barking at everybody, and there is no love between Koepka and DeChambeau. And DeChambeau said what I said 2 days ago. He's living rent-free. I said he's got a condo, and it looks like DeChambeau and I think along the same type of lines, John.
Yeah, this is starting to become like a little bit of a WWF type thing. Like, I feel like these guys are throwing promos at each other, and could there be a little resentment? Sure. But now this is starting to come off like they're starting to promo something, and they're starting to build up a fight, so to speak.
It's disrespectful to talk to Tom Brady in any type of way like that.
Right, but I think Brady's embracing it, or at least, right, because it's going to get people to retweet it all over Twitter. It's going to get people to talk about it like we are right now. And yeah, they're creating buzz around this, almost like you would a WWE type event. So it's interesting, but
they're stealing headlines from the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NHL, which has a lot of lopsided games. If you look at the games tonight, the favorites are minus 200. I mean,
it's hard to bet on. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So if you can't bet on hockey in those type of situations where it's minus 110, minus 120, you can't, you're putting down minus 200. Look, the Penguins gone, right? I mean, come on. I mean,
they look terrible too, by the way. At least their goaltender did.
Absolutely. Well, if you don't have goaltender, I mean, we had Tony. We've had some great goaltenders in Chicago, but we finally overcame it. But
are we finally finding out that a goaltender may be even more important than, let's say, like a quarterback in football? Like if your goaltender, even if you have a good one, but he's playing okay, it doesn't win in the playoffs. You need a great and playing at the time excellent high-level goaltending hockey.
Tell you something.
It's crazy.
It's the most important position in sports.
I think so. It's crazy.
I'll tell you why. I know you lose a quarterback, but sometimes like a Jeff Hostetler can come in and win a Super Bowl for you.
And Nick Foles can win a Super Bowl for you.
Yeah, a Doug Williams, a Nick Foles can win a Super Bowl for you. You better have, for the most part. Now, the Chicago Blackhawks won with Anthony Niemi. Then they had Crawford. They were both very good goaltenders, but they had great D with Keith Brown and other guys.
Yeah.
But they also, Crawford would stand on his head all the time. Now they don't have that goaltending. They're getting their butts kicked. So to me, there's an argument to be made about the goaltender.
Yeah, I think so.
And the beating that they take more of a beating. The other night I'm watching a guy who took one off the noggin. I don't care how big that mask is. I mean, my God!
Mask. It helps like the goalie mask because you use them for baseball too. Like I had when I was a catcher, I would do that, and that doesn't help. Like if I'm taking a foul tip off the mat, my ears are ringing, and my brain scrambled a little bit.
Let me tell you something. I remember going to hockey games where our goalie Glenn Hall didn't wear a mask. They didn't have masks. That's insanity to this day.
That is insane. It really is.
Terry Sawchuk, he was like 30. Take a good look at him. He looked like he was 90. Every night, Glenn Hall would hear the light, the fire engine lights go off at his hotel. He'd throw up. He'd throw up in the middle of the night. A true story. Read up on Glenn Hall. Anyway, let's get to the picks because
yeah,
they endure us, like I always say, John.
endure us. That's a way of putting it.
They endure us, Johnny J. By the way, Folly, you see all the stuff up here. By the way, I'm not saying I'm petty, but I was looking at the two boxes. My box seems just a little bit. I'm not sure if it's the same size as your box, but I don't want it to sound petty.
It's also the angle of my computer is it makes me look tall and it makes me look like I'm towering over everybody. But like I got
hey, I noticed, man, you don't follow me, man. How about
Wait.
it, guys? No, you do, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
Guys
I was about to say, do I not follow you?
Cold shoulder you because hey, you work at the same station or something.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that guy don't follow me. But we're insensitive, right?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Of course you follow me. Follow Johnny J.
Yeah. I thought I did. I was like, wait, do I not?
See how you got?
So I wait, what's that?
See how you got? You go, wait a minute.
Yeah, I had to make sure because sometimes I forget. But for my first pick, I'm going
first.
I'm going first 5 with the Angels at plus 128. They've actually been winning lately. I'm taking a first 5 though, just because I don't still trust the Angels bullpen. The only thing I'm worried about this bet is Ohtani. His velocity dipped. So if that's a thing again, then I don't know how he's going to do. But I think he should be
4 miles an hour. But I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those where it probably didn't. The warm up didn't feel good. Whatever it might be. I think he's fine though. I'll take first 5 with the Angels. They've been playing well.
That's a real good pick. I like that one, Johnny. And you've been on fire, folks. He's been on fire. And why not go with them? All right, I'm going to take the Texas Rangers in a pick against the Seattle Mariners. It's a late night game, folks. I'm sorry. It's about 9:00. But Texas is playing Seattle in a pick. I don't know what you had in that, John, if you had any read on that game. But Texas is a sneaky, just when you think they're counted out, just when you think they suck, they'll play a good game. But this system gives me teams like this, so you just got to trust what you do. Believe me, I'd rather take a lot of other teams tonight, but the Texas Rangers. But I got Texas against Seattle.
Yeah, even money play. I like that. See, it's not like Seattle's good. These are both, not so good teams. So yeah, get the even money, the one that's going to give you more return. I'm absolutely okay with that. My next one, and probably the next two, I was only going to pick one more, but then I decided, and I feel good about it, so I'm going to pick another. I think the Bucks do end up taking Game 3, even in Miami. Miami's problems are more than just they're not playing well right now. It's that Bam hasn't been playing well for a couple of weeks now. Jimmy Butler looks a little bit lost on offense, even though he's still doing well. He looks lost on offense. I think there's a lot more problems to this team than I think that we're letting off a bit. I think the Heat are almost done here, so I think this is going to end in 5. But I do think Bucks take Game 3 and go up 3-0.
Very good, Johnny. And I tell you this, I'm notoriously, I learned a long time ago, no more totals for anything.
Totals are tough for me. I agree. Totals are tough.
If I had, believe me when I tell you this, if I would have basically had, if I basically would have left alone totals, I probably would have a winning record over the last 10 years, not the last 5 years, which I win every single year. But I cannot ignore this. The Reed gave me tonight under 211 in the Phoenix LA Laker game. So I'm taking the under in this game. So I got the under as one of my plays in the LA game, and I got Texas in a pick. I know that's a tough one, isn't it?
Well, now what I'm going to do, I will consider this a scary play. I'm going to go the Sun. I'm going to take the Suns on the money line at plus 240. I think they end up winning this game.
Good.
I still didn't like the Lakers look better. I still didn't like exactly what I saw. And it's not like the Lakers, I think, have this huge home advantage. Plus 240 on the money line. I like the scary pick there. If I had a plus 185 and a plus 240 back-to-back days, I'm just going to go on vacation.
I love it. Johnny J, Mike North, every day, pass the word around. Appreciate all the support you're giving us. So does Win Daily Sports. Check out that Win Daily Sports. Check out all the Cappers Flash, all the guys. Johnny works with a lot of great guys. Kavanaugh, all those guys. So,
yeah, all great.
Johnny, take care, everybody.